Once upon a time, in the heart of a beautiful kingdom, there was a village called Makun. The village was surrounded by tall, green trees and beautiful rivers. The people in Makun were very happy because in their village lived the most beautiful girl in the entire kingdom named Maku, too, just like her village. This village was so bright and full of laughter. Everyone knew everyone, and in the middle of it all was Makun's mother. Makun's mother was the best midwife in the village. Her name was Iya Abiye. Iya Abiye helped many women give birth to their babies safely. People trusted her and loved her very much. Whenever a baby was born, Iya Abiye was there, smiling and helping. From when Makun was very little, people admired her beauty. Men from the village would bring her gifts just to see her smile. They would say, "Makun, you are so beautiful. Please take this gift." Makun would smile and say thank you. She had many friends because of her kind heart and lovely face. As Makun grew older, her beauty became even more enchanting. People would whisper, "Look at Makun. She is like a princess." But Makun did not let her beauty make her proud. She was humble and helped her mother with her work. She learned many things from Iya Abiye about caring for others. Makun's beauty was not just on the outside. She had a beautiful heart too. She always helped those in need and was kind to everyone. Her mother, Iya Abiye, was very proud of her. And so, in the village of Makun, everyone knew and loved Makun and her mother. They were a special family, filled with love and kindness. As Makun grew older, her beauty blossomed even more, and soon she caught the eye of the son of the richest man in the village. His name was Kolawole, and he was handsome and kind. Kolawole fell in love with Makun and asked her to marry him. Makun, seeing how kind and good-hearted Kolawole was, said yes. The whole village celebrated their wedding. There was singing, dancing, and lots of delicious food. Makun wore a beautiful dress, and everyone said she looked like a queen. Makun and Kolawole were very happy together. Soon after their marriage, Makun and Kolawole were blessed with two lovely children. First, a strong baby boy they named Tayo, and then a beautiful baby girl they named Tifi. The children brought even more joy to their home. Makun loved them dearly and took great care of them. But as time went by, Kolawole started to notice how many men still admired Makun. They would come to their home to talk to her and bring her small gifts. Although Makun was always polite and never gave them any special attention, Kolawole began to feel uneasy. One evening, Kolawole said to Makun, "Makun, I do not like how you make friends with so many men in the village. Men who make friends with women are only looking for an opportunity to take advantage of them." Makun was hurt by his words. She replied, "Kolawole, I have done nothing wrong. I am kind to everyone, and that does not mean I am unfaithful. You must trust me." But Kolawole could not shake his doubts. Their arguments grew louder and more frequent. One day, after a particularly heated argument, Makun decided she could not stay in a marriage without trust. With a heavy heart, she packed her things and left Kolawole's house, leaving behind her two children, Tayo and Tife. The village was shocked to hear about the divorce. People whispered and wondered what had happened. Makun moved back to her mother's house. Iya Abiye welcomed her with open arms, offering comfort and support. And so, life went on in the village of Makun. Even though she had faced heartbreak, Makun remained a beacon of beauty and grace, always remembered by the villagers for her strength and goodness. After some time, Makun met another man from a faraway village. His name was Bayo, and he was very rich. Bayo had heard about Makun's beauty and kindness when Makun left her village and came to Bayo's. Bayo then came to meet her. He was captivated by her and soon asked her to marry him. Makun, hoping to find happiness again, agreed. She moved to Bayo's big, beautiful house in his village. They had a secret wedding, and once again, there was no much singing, dancing, and joy. Not long after, Makun and Bayo were blessed with a baby girl. They named her Shalewa. Shalewa was as beautiful as her mother, with bright eyes and a lovely smile. As she grew, her beauty became even more radiant. Just like Makun, Shalewa attracted a lot of attention. As she turned a young adult, men from the village would bring her gifts and try to win her heart. They would say, "Shalewa, you are as beautiful as your mother. Please accept this gift." Shalewa, kind and polite, would thank them, but was careful not to lead them on. Makun, having experienced the attention herself, advised Shalewa to be cautious. She said, "Shalewa, not all men who bring you gifts are good. Be careful and protect your heart." Shalewa listened to her mother and was always respectful, but she kept her distance from those who seemed too eager. Despite the attention from many men, Shalewa remained humble and focused on her family. She helped her father in his shop, which was the biggest in the market. People admired her not just for her beauty, but also for her hard work and kind nature. Bayo was very proud of Shalewa. He would often say, "Shalewa, you are a blessing to our family. Your beauty and goodness make us proud." Shalewa would smile and hug her father, grateful for his love and support. Life in the village was peaceful and happy for Makun, Bayo, and Shalewa. They were a close-knit family, filled with love and joy. Shalewa's beauty and kindness made her popular, but she always remembered her mother's advice and remained true to herself. And so, in the faraway village, the story of Makun and her family continued. They lived in harmony, surrounded by admiration and respect from all who knew them. Years passed and Makun, Bayo, and Shalewa grew older. One bright morning, Shalewa was working in her father's shop in the bustling market. The shop was the largest in the village, filled with colorful fabrics and beautiful items. People from all around would come to buy the finest goods. On this particular day, a young man named Tayo walked into the shop. Tayo was handsome, with kind eyes and a gentle smile, but his clothes were simple and worn. It was clear that he did not have much money. Tayo looked around the shop, admiring the beautiful fabrics. When Shalewa saw Tayo, she felt something special. There was a kindness in his eyes that drew her to him. Tayo approached her and shyly asked, "Excuse me, can you show me the cheapest fabric you have? I don't have much money." Shalewa smiled warmly at Tayo. She felt a strong connection with him, something she had never felt before. Instead of showing him the cheapest fabric, she picked out one of the most beautiful and expensive ones. "Here, take this," she said, handing it to him. "It's a gift." Tayo was surprised and grateful. "Thank you so much," he said, his eyes wide with amazement. "But I can't accept this. It's too much." Shalewa insisted, "Please take it, consider it a gift, and come back to visit our shop anytime you need anything." Tayo nodded, still in awe of her generosity. He thanked her again and left the shop, holding the precious fabric carefully. That evening, Shalewa couldn't stop thinking about Tayo. When she got home, she told her mother, Makun, about the young man she met. "Mama, I met someone today. His name is Tayo. He doesn't have much, but there's something special about him. I gave him an expensive fabric for free." Makun listened carefully. When she heard the name Tayo, her heart skipped a beat. It reminded her of her son from her first marriage. She wondered if it could be the same Tayo, but she kept her thoughts to herself. She nodded and said, "It's good to be kind, Shalewa. Just be careful." In the following days, Tayo returned to the shop. He thanked Shalewa again for her kindness and began to visit more often. They would talk and laugh, and Shalewa felt happier each time he came by. The connection between them grew stronger with each visit. Shalewa and Tayo's bond was noticed by many in the village. People would say, "Shalewa has found a good friend in Tayo." And indeed, their friendship blossomed beautifully. In the village, Shalewa and Tayo became known as the pair with a special connection. Shalewa's generous heart and Tayo's humble spirit brought them together in a way that neither of them had expected. Days turned into weeks, and Tayo continued to visit Shalewa's shop. Their bond grew stronger, and they spent more time together, talking and sharing stories. Tayo's gentle nature and Shalewa's kindness made them good friends. One day, Tayo came to the shop with a worried look on his face. He approached Shalewa and said, "Shalewa, I need to ask you a favor. I have nowhere to stay. Can you help me find a place?" Shalewa, seeing the distress in Tayo's eyes, didn't hesitate. "Of course, Tayo. You can stay with us. We have enough room at home." She took Tayo by the hand and led him to her house. When they arrived, Shalewa introduced Tayo to her mother, Makun. As soon as Makun saw Tayo, her heart pounded. She recognized him immediately. This was her son from her first marriage, the boy she had not seen since she left her previous husband. But Makun hid her emotions and greeted Tayo warmly. Shalewa spoke to her mother first. "Mother, Tayo has no place to stay. Can he stay with us for a while?" Makun felt her heart race. She recognized Tayo as her long-lost son, but couldn't reveal the truth. She replied, "No, Shalewa. It's not safe to bring a stranger into our home." Shalewa, puzzled, asked, "But why, mother? He seems like a good person." Makun insisted, "We don't know him well enough. It's better to be safe." Not satisfied with her mother's response, Shalewa went to her father, Bayo. "Father, Tayo needs a place to stay. Can he stay with us?" Bayo, kind-hearted and generous, said, "Of course he can stay. We should help those in need." Makun couldn't stop it. Tayo moved into their home. Makun watched him closely, feeling both joy and fear. She was happy to see her son, but afraid her secret might be revealed. As Tayo settled in, he became a part of the family. He helped in the shop, did chores, and quickly won everyone's hearts. Tayo smiled and replied, "Thank you, Shalewa. You and your family are very kind." Makun, however, was always on edge. She couldn't show her true feelings and kept her distance. She thought, "I must protect this secret. No one can know the truth." But despite her worries, Shalewa and Tayo grew closer. They spent time together, laughed, and became best friends. The villagers noticed and said, "Shalewa and Tayo are always together. They look like they are made for each other." Makun knew she had to do something. She couldn't let her children fall in love. She whispered to herself, "This is wrong. They are siblings. I must find a way to keep them apart." As the days passed, Makun's fear grew. She watched Shalewa and Tayo closely, hoping to find a way to protect them without revealing the truth. She thought, "How long can I keep this secret? What will happen if they find out?" But for now, Tayo was happy to have a place to stay and Shalewa was happy to have him there. They enjoyed each other's company, unaware of the storm brewing in Makun's heart. Tayo settled into life with Shalewa's family. He helped around the house, worked in the market, and quickly became a beloved member of the household. Shalewa and Tayo's bond grew even stronger. They were always together, laughing and sharing stories. The villagers noticed how close Shalewa and Tayo had become. They started to whisper, "Look at Shalewa and Tayo. They are always together. They must be in love." Some even began to call them husband and wife, believing that a marriage between them was inevitable. Shalewa and Tayo enjoyed each other's company immensely. They would walk through the village hand in hand, visit the market together, and spend their evenings talking under the moonlight. Their friendship blossomed into something deeper, and it was clear to everyone around them. However, Makun watched this growing closeness with a heavy heart. She knew the truth about Tayo's identity and feared what would happen if the secret came out. She was determined to keep them apart for their own good, even though it pained her. One day, as Shalewa and Tayo were about to leave for the market, Makun called Shalewa aside. "Shalewa, I need you to help me at home today," she said. Shalewa looked surprised. "But Mama, Tayo and I have plans to go to the market together." Makun insisted, "There is important work that needs to be done. Tayo can go to the market on his own." Shalewa reluctantly agreed, not understanding why her mother was suddenly so strict. Makun began to find more and more reasons to keep Shalewa and Tayo apart. She would send Tayo on long errands, keeping him busy from morning till night. She would ask Shalewa to stay home and help with household chores. Despite her efforts, the bond between Shalewa and Tayo only seemed to grow stronger. One evening, Shalewa confronted her mother. "Mama, why are you trying to keep Tayo and me apart? We care about each other, and I don't understand why you are against it." Makun sighed, struggling to find the right words. "Shalewa, there are things you don't understand. Sometimes it's best not to get too close to someone without knowing everything about them. Trust me, I am only trying to protect you." Shalewa was confused and hurt by her mother's words, but she loved and respected her mother too much to argue further. She continued to see Tayo whenever she could, cherishing their moments together. In the village, the whispers continued to grow. "Shalewa and Tayo are meant to be together," the villagers said. "They are perfect for each other." But Makun knew that the truth could shatter their happiness, and she was determined to prevent that at all costs. The days passed, and Makun's heart grew heavier with the weight of her secret. She prayed for a solution, hoping that she could protect her children without revealing the painful truth about their past. One evening, as the sun was setting, Shalewa and Tayo sat by the river. They watched the water flow and talked about their dreams. Shalewa said, "Tayo, do you ever think about the future?" Tayo replied, "Yes, Shalewa. I dream of a happy life with someone I love." Shalewa's heart skipped a beat. She asked softly, "And who do you think that someone could be?" Tayo looked into her eyes and said, "I think it could be you, Shalewa." Shalewa blushed and smiled. She said, "I feel the same way, Tayo." From that moment, they knew they loved each other. They continued to see each other secretly, hiding their feelings from Makun. They whispered sweet words and made plans for the future, dreaming of a life together. One evening, during a family meal, Shalewa and Tayo exchanged nervous glances. They had decided it was time to ask for permission to marry. Shalewa took a deep breath and said, "Father, Mother, Tayo and I have something important to tell you." Tayo smiled warmly and said, "What is it, my dear?" Shalewa held Tayo's hand and said, "Tayo and I love each other. We want to get married." Bayo smiled warmly, happy to see his daughter so joyful. "That's wonderful news, Shalewa. Tayo is a good man." But before he could say more, Makun's face turned pale. She stood up abruptly and shouted, "No, this cannot happen. It is a taboo." Everyone was stunned. Shalewa looked at her mother with confusion and hurt in her eyes. "Mama, why do you say that? Tayo and I love each other." Makun's hands trembled as she tried to find the words. "You do not understand. There are things you do not know. This marriage cannot happen." Bayo, puzzled by his wife's strong reaction, asked, "Makun, what is this all about? Why are you so against their marriage? Tayo is a good young man." Makun struggled to hold back her tears. She couldn't reveal the truth about Tayo being her son from her first marriage. She had kept this secret for so long, and now it was tearing her apart. "It's just not right. We don't know enough about Tayo's past. It's too dangerous." Shalewa, feeling her mother's fear but not understanding it, pleaded, "Mama, please, we love each other. We want to be together." Bayo, sensing that there was more to Makun's opposition, said gently, "Makun, if there is something we need to know, please tell us. We cannot understand your fear without knowing the truth." Makun's heart ached. She was torn between protecting her secret and the love she saw between her children. She couldn't bear to see them hurt, but she couldn't bring herself to reveal the painful truth. In the silence that followed, Shalewa and Tayo felt the weight of Makun's words. They knew there was something more, something hidden, but they also knew their love was strong and true. Makun, unable to bear the tension, left the room. Bayo looked at Shalewa and Tayo, his face full of concern. "We will find a way to understand this," he said softly. "But for now, we must be patient and give your mother time." Shalewa and Tayo held hands, determined to stay strong. They knew their love was real, and they believed that one day they would find a way to be together, despite the obstacles in their path. After the dramatic family dinner, Makun's behavior toward Tayo changed drastically. She began treating him harshly, giving him the most difficult and tiring tasks to keep him away from Shalewa. "Tayo, fetch water from the river," she would order, even if it wasn't necessary. "Tayo, clean the entire compound by yourself." Tayo, confused by Makun's sudden hostility, obeyed without complaint. He respected her as Shalewa's mother, even though he didn't understand her reasons. Shalewa noticed her mother's behavior and felt heartbroken. She knew Makun was trying to keep them apart, but she couldn't understand why. Determined to stay close to Tayo, Shalewa began sneaking out at night to see him. Once everyone was asleep, she would quietly tiptoe out of her room and meet Tayo under the big baobab tree. There, they would talk and hold each other, finding comfort in their love despite the obstacles. One night, as they sat together under the stars, Shalewa looked into Tayo's eyes and said, "Tayo, I can't stand this any longer. My mother is trying to keep us apart, but our love is too strong. We must find a way to be together." Tayo, holding her hand, replied, "I know, Shalewa, but what can we do? Your mother's opposition is making everything difficult." Shalewa took a deep breath and said, "There's one way we can force her to accept our marriage. If I get pregnant, she will have no choice but to let us marry. She wouldn't want the shame of an unmarried daughter with a child." Tayo was shocked by Shalewa's suggestion. "Shalewa, are you sure? This is a big decision. It could cause more trouble." Shalewa nodded firmly. "I am sure, Tayo. I love you and I want to be with you. This might be our only chance." Reluctantly, Tayo agreed. That night, under the moonlit sky, they made a promise to each other. They would be together no matter what. From that night on, Shalewa and Tayo began spending their nights together in secret in his small hut. They would meet when everyone was asleep and sleep together, sharing their love and dreams. They felt like they were the only two people in the world, and gradually they started making out every night at Tayo's place. During the day, they pretended everything was normal. Shalewa helped in the fabric shop and Tayo did his chores, enduring Makun's harsh treatment. But at night, they found comfort in each other's arms, whispering sweet words and making plans for their future, and ended up making out. Makun noticed that Shalewa seemed happier despite the tension at home. She grew more suspicious but couldn't find a way to catch them. She thought, what are they hiding? I must find out. Shalewa and Tayo continued their secret meetings, hoping that one day their love would triumph over all obstacles. They believed that if Shalewa became pregnant, their parents would have to accept their relationship. One night, as they lay together under the stars, Tayo whispered, I love you, Shalewa. We will find a way to be together, no matter what. Shalewa smiled and replied, I love you too, Tayo. Our love will conquer all. The days turned into weeks, and their secret meetings continued. They cherished every moment together, knowing that their love was worth fighting for. They hoped that soon they would have the proof they needed to convince everyone that their love was true and unbreakable. One morning, Shalewa woke up feeling very sick. She ran to the bathroom and started vomiting. Makun, hearing the commotion, rushed to her side. She gently held Shalewa and asked, Shalewa, what is wrong? Shalewa, looking pale and worried, replied, I don't know, mother. I just feel very sick. Makun, being the daughter of a midwife, recognized the symptoms immediately. She whispered to herself, could it be? Is she pregnant? She gently asked, Shalewa, is there something you need to tell me? Shalewa hesitated, but then nodded. She took a deep breath and said, Mother, I think I might be pregnant. Makun's heart sank. She asked, who is the father, Shalewa? With tears in her eyes, Shalewa replied, it's Tayo, mother. Tayo is the father. Makun felt a mix of emotions, fear, anger, and sadness. She knew the truth she had been hiding would now come to light. She said firmly, this cannot happen, Shalewa. You must have an abortion. Shalewa was shocked and cried, no, mother. I love Tayo, and I want to keep this baby. At that moment, Bayo walked in and saw the distressed faces of his wife and daughter. He asked, what is going on here? Makun, trying to control her emotions, said, Shalewa is pregnant and Tayo is the father. Bayo was surprised but remained calm. He said, we need to think this through. Shalewa, are you sure Tayo is the father? Shalewa nodded and said, yes, father, I am sure. Bayo thought for a moment and said, before we make any decisions, we need to meet Tayo's family. We should know more about him and his background. Makun was terrified. She knew that meeting Tayo's family would reveal her past. She tried to protest. Bayo, this is not necessary. We don't need to meet his family. But Bayo was firm. He said, Makun, this is important. If our daughter is to have a future with Tayo, we need to know who he is and where he comes from. Shalewa, hopeful, said, thank you, father. I believe meeting Tayo's family will help us. Makun felt trapped. She knew that her secrets were about to be exposed, but she had no choice. She prayed silently, please let there be a way to protect them. The family decided to arrange a meeting with Tayo's parents. Shalewa was nervous but hopeful. She believed that once her father met Tayo's family, everything would be okay. As the day of the meeting approached, Makun grew more anxious. She thought, how will I face my past? What will happen when they find out the truth? However, Makun was desperate to prevent the visit. She knew that if they met Tayo's family, her secret would be exposed. She tried various ways to stop it. First, she spoke to Bayo, saying, Bayo, this visit is unnecessary. We don't need to meet Tayo's family to know that this marriage is not right. But Bayo was firm. Makun, there is something you are not telling us. We need to visit Tayo's family to understand the truth. Next, Makun tried to convince Shalewa. Shalewa, my dear, think about it. This visit might cause more problems. Please, let's not go. But Shalewa, determined to marry Tayo, said, Mama, I need to know the truth. I love Tayo, and I believe this visit will help us all. Seeing that her efforts were failing, Makun decided to take drastic measures. On the morning of the visit, she pretended to be very sick. She lay in bed, groaning and holding her stomach. Bayo was concerned when he saw her. Makun, what's wrong? Are you feeling ill? Makun, feigning weakness, replied, I don't know, Bayo. I feel very sick. I don't think I can go with you today. Bayo frowned, but he didn't want to delay the visit. We can postpone the visit if you're too unwell, Makun, he said. But Shalewa, suspecting her mother's act, insisted, Papa, we need to go today. We've already informed Tayo's family, and they are expecting us. Makun, realizing that her plan might not work, weakly said, I will stay here and rest. You go without me. I will be fine. Bayo nodded, though still concerned. All right, Makun, rest well. We will return soon. Shalewa and Bayo prepared for the visit. As they left, Makun watched them with a heavy heart, knowing that the truth was now beyond her control. The journey to Tayo's village was long but filled with hope. Shalewa held Tayo's hand tightly, knowing that their love would face its greatest test yet. They reached Tayo's family home, where they were warmly welcomed. Tayo's father, Kolawole, who was once Makun's husband, greeted them. When Bayo introduced Shalewa as his daughter and explained their visit, Kolawole's face turned pale with shock. He recognized Makun's name and realized that Shalewa was his daughter's sister. The truth that Makun had hidden for so long was about to unravel, bringing with it revelations that would change their lives forever. The visit that was meant to bring clarity was now set to expose a past filled with secrets and lies. As Shalewa, Bayo, and Tayo sat with Tayo's family, the atmosphere was tense. Tayo's father, Kolawole, looked deeply troubled. He had not expected this meeting to stir up old memories and secrets. Bayo began the conversation saying, We are here to understand more about Tayo's background. My daughter, Shalewa, and Tayo wish to marry, but my wife, Makun, has strong objections. We hope this visit will help us understand why. Kolawole took a deep breath, his eyes filled with a mix of emotions. There is something you all need to know. Makun is not just your wife, Bayo. She was once my wife too. Tayo and Shalewa are siblings. Shalewa and Bayo were stunned. Shalewa felt her heart drop. What do you mean they are siblings? Bayo asked, his voice trembling. Kolawole continued. Years ago, Makun and I were married. We had 2 children, Tayo and Ife. But one day, Makun left, taking Ife with her and leaving Tayo behind. I never saw her again until now. Tayo, shocked by the revelation, looked at Shalewa with a mixture of disbelief and sadness. Shalewa, this means we cannot be together, he said softly. Just then, the door opened and Makun walked in, looking pale and distressed. She had followed them, unable to stay away and let the secret be revealed without her. When she saw Kolawole and heard his words, she knew the truth was out. Makun, Kolawole said, his voice filled with a mixture of anger and sadness. Why did you leave and keep this secret from everyone? Makun, tears streaming down her face, replied, I was young and foolish. I made mistakes and thought I could start anew without the past haunting me. But I see now that I was wrong. I kept the truth from Bayo and Shalewa to protect them, but I only caused more pain. Bayo, still trying to process the information, asked, Why didn't you tell us, Makun? We could have handled this together. Makun shook her head. I was scared. I didn't want to lose you or Shalewa. I thought I was protecting our family, but I see now that hiding the truth only made things worse. Shalewa, her heart breaking, looked at her mother. Mama, why didn't you tell me? I love Tayo, but now we can never be together. Makun, overwhelmed with guilt, said, I am so sorry, Shalewa. I wanted to protect you, but I see now that I was wrong. The room fell silent, each person lost in their thoughts and emotions. The truth had been revealed, but it brought with it a heavy burden. Shalewa and Tayo's dreams of being together were shattered, and the family faced a painful reality. Kolawole, trying to bring some comfort, said, We must find a way to move forward from this. We cannot change the past, but we can choose how to face the future. Bayo nodded, agreeing with Kolawole. Yes, we must find a way to heal and support each other. We are all family now, and we must face this together. Makun, realizing the extent of the pain her secrets had caused, vowed to be honest from then on. She knew it would take time to rebuild trust, but she was determined to make things right. In the village, the news of the revelation spread quickly. People were shocked and saddened by the turn of events. Shalewa and Tayo, once seen as a perfect couple, now faced a future apart, but their families were committed to supporting them through this difficult time. The truth, though painful, had finally been revealed. It was now up to each of them to find a way to heal and move forward, together as a family. The revelation of Makun's past left everyone in shock. Unable to face the shame and guilt, Makun ran away from the village. She couldn't bear the whispers and the judgment of the villagers. She left a note for her family saying, I am sorry for everything. I hope one day you can forgive me. The villagers soon learned the truth about Makun's past. They whispered among themselves, Did you hear? Makun had another family before. Her children, Shalewa and Tayo, are siblings. The news spread quickly, and everyone in the village knew. Shalewa was heartbroken. She had loved Tayo deeply, but now she knew they could never be together. She stayed strong for the sake of her unborn child. With the support of her father, Bayo, and the villagers, Shalewa gave birth to a healthy baby boy. She named him Ayo, which means joy in their language. Ayo brought happiness to Shalewa's life, even in the midst of her pain. Bayo, always a pillar of strength, helped Shalewa raise Ayo. He would say, Ayo is a blessing. We must focus on his future and our family's healing. As time passed, Shalewa found love again. She met a kind and gentle man named Femi. Femi was understanding and supportive. He knew about Shalewa's past, but loved her and Ayo unconditionally. Femi asked Shalewa to marry him, and she agreed. They had a simple but beautiful wedding, surrounded by family and friends. Shalewa and Femi built a happy life together. Femi treated Ayo as his own son, and the three of them formed a loving family. Shalewa would often say, I never thought I could find happiness again, but with Femi and Ayo, I have. Meanwhile, Tayo returned to his village. The revelation of his true identity was difficult to process, but he found solace in his community. His father, Kolawole, welcomed him back with open arms. We have each other, Tayo. We will rebuild our lives, Kolawole said. Tayo settled down in his village, focusing on his work and helping his family. He met a kind-hearted woman named Kemi, and they eventually got married. Tayo and Kemi started their own family, and Tayo found peace in his new life. The villagers, who once whispered about the scandal, saw how both Shalewa and Tayo had moved on and found happiness. They respected their strength and resilience. The family had been through a lot, but they learned to heal and grow. Shalewa often thought about her mother, Makun, and hoped she had found peace wherever she was. She whispered to the stars, "I forgive you, mother. I hope you find your way back to us someday." Life in the village returned to normal, but the lessons from the past remained. The story of Makun, Shalewa, and Tayo became a reminder to everyone that the truth, no matter how painful, must always come to light, and that love, forgiveness, and resilience can help heal even the deepest wounds. The moral of the story became clear. No matter how long a lie runs, the truth will catch up with it one day. Honesty is always the best policy. It is better to open up about one's past than to hide it. The elders emphasized, we all make mistakes, but hiding them only causes more pain. Being truthful, even when it's hard, helps us build trust and understanding. It allows us to heal and move forward. And so, the story of Makun, Shalewa, and Tayo became a lasting reminder in the village. It taught everyone that while the truth may sometimes be painful, it is also liberating. It helps build stronger, more honest relationships. And this became a guiding story for the village, teaching generations to come about the importance of honesty, forgiveness, and the strength to face the truth. I hope you enjoyed the tale. If so, please like the video, share it with your family and friends, comment on it, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell for more enchanting tales like this one. Goodbye.
My favorite viewer, how are you? My channel is a beautiful channel. You are like subscribe for my video and channel in the morning of the video. But I am not copyright videos and yes or generate for Africa Maintains channel. My channel name is African Maintains, African Tales by Zoe who is not old channel African Life. What is my channel? Like and subscribe for my channel. My channel name African Tale, African Tale by Zoe. In first two channel is the most important channel. इस दोनों चैनल को he is the you can know what the people of Kringa. My work is a this is a crowd, this is a Kimura, this is a recycle bin. This is my I am a poor man. You my channel for my views and thank you for your. But I am not copyright. I am secretive. I am confident. I am. Okay, my partnership is let's go. My channel को like and subscribe. What are like and subscribe? Like subscribe is a emoji. What is emoji? Emoji is a defined for everywhere. I will YouTube. How are you? Sharing. अब this is ये देखिए अफ्रीकन मिलते। अब इस चैनल को ऐसे करना है हमने। What is a subscribe? This is a subscribe. This is a all subscribe. And like dislike. Okay, my favorite partnership. So get I am not copyright. What are favorite copyright?